talk to you.
We're the Oak Ridge High School cheerleaders hanging out at Oak Ridge Utility District getting ready for the big game.
O-A-K-R-I-G-G-E. O-A-K-R-I-G-G-E. O-A-K-R-I-G-G-E.
Kick off the football season by purchasing your natural gas appliances from Oak Ridge Utility District.
ORUD carries a full line of washers, dryers, ranges, cooktops, logs, grills, and much more in a variety of brands and styles.
So be the champion of your team and score a touchdown with ORUD and natural gas. A winning combination.
So now the only question is,
What time is it?
It's high school football time in Tennessee. It's time for live high school football action on BBB Communications Cable Channel 12. Enjoy exciting Tri-County high school football on BBB Communications all season long. It's the Rome Metals Group Game of the Week. The Rome Metals Group Game of the Week is brought to you by Rome Metals Group, Oak Ridge Utility District, Eddie's Body Shop, Harriman Utility Board, Leader Drug Store, Live and Let Live Drug Store, Chase Drugs, and Kinzer Drugs, Tennessee Eye Care, Sexton Autos of Oak Ridge, Evans Mortuary, Jerry Duncan Ford, Fox and Farley, S.L. Bowman and Son, Hammers Department Store. And now here's Ron Berry and David Queener for the Rome Metals Group Game of the Week.
Good evening and welcome to Blankenship Field for the BBB Channel 12 High School Football Game of the Week. We're glad to be with you here tonight. It's a overcast night, but it looks like the rain has come through already, so for that we're thankful. But lots of festivities going on here, both on the field and all around. Folks tailgating and having a big time here as this county rivalry takes place here tonight between the Oak Ridge Wildcats and the Anderson County Mavericks. David Queener still under the weather tonight. He's going to be with you for the Friday night scoreboard show. But certainly tonight we're tickled to have with us a former Wildcat, class of '82, Mike Kelly. And Mike, first of all, welcome.
Thank you, Ron. I appreciate it, and looking forward to a good contest tonight between the Wildcats and the Mavericks. And it's maybe a little bit different Maverick team than what we've seen in the past. I know they kind of relied on the air attack last few years, but it's I think more of a ground game this year. So it's going to be a little different look for the fans and for the players from Oak Ridge. So.
Mike, I know being a former player here, you know what folks expect here. They expect a lot of wins. They expect a football team to come out here and give it everything they've got. Coach Blade has come in here and restored order to the Wildcat Nation.
Yes, sir. He's made his presence known just in the, 3 years he's been here, I guess, and taking us to the playoffs. And we got a long line of successful coaches here, and he's looking to follow in their footsteps.
Well, and a lot of them here, and it looks like if we go back, you probably were under Bill Young.
I was under Bill Young and Emory Hale.
Emory Hale.
Yes, sir. Yeah, two great gentlemen. Think the world of both of them. And I actually still have one of my coaches on the Oak Ridge staff, Barry Saunders. I think he's announced this is his last season, and that's kind of sad. But Coach Hale and Coach Young, two great gentlemen, and just had the pleasure of being under their leadership and learned a lot of good things from both of us.
Actually, I spoke to Coach Saunders as I was coming in, and you can sort of hear it in his voice. It's sort of a sad thing to have to finish the season out knowing it's going to be your last.
It is. It really is. And I know it's going to be different not seeing him on the sidelines next year, but he deserves some time off, and he's given a lot to this community, this program over the years, and I know all the former players appreciate that.
Actually, as I was talking to him, I learned that actually he went to high school at Roane County High School. So
that's true.
Had a lot of ties down there, and played for Coach Young, Coach Long down there. And so a lot of Roane Countyans probably remember Coach Saunders down there. I think he said he played a little football and some golf down there. So a lot of those folks. Certainly Coach Long is a coach there that's still reverend from the program that he put together.
Yes, sir.
Big plays for Oak Ridge, and certainly none any bigger than Elliott Norman, a kid that came in as a freshman and really played a lot as a freshman. Played linebacker and some actually played in the line some, and now moved back to the running back position. And number one, an excellent football player, and number two, an excellent young man.
Great student, and just a kind of a role model, I guess you'd say, just for other student athletes. He's gets the job done both on the field and in the classroom, and comes from a line of football players. His dad played at Oak Ridge, and his brother's at Tennessee Tech now. So.
Another one, Ryan Hall, a receiver last year, came in some last year and filled in at quarterback, but this year has really taken the responsibilities of a quarterback and certainly has this Wildcat football team really playing well. You can see he's 50 of 87 passing, 778 yards and 9 touchdowns with only 3 interceptions. So he runs the ball really well, puts a lot of pressure on the defensive ends and linebackers.
He sure does. He's a pleasure to watch, that's for sure. For the fans up here, never know if he's going to tuck it or throw it, and just an outstanding athlete, and we're glad to have him.
And certainly Coach Blade coming in here, 4th year, 29 and 14, and he really has, I guess, righted the ship. He's come in, he's put a lot of discipline in the program. You can see the physicality of this football team has improved over the years, and still not where he wants this football team to be, but certainly if you're an Oak Ridge fan, you've seen progress every year. That's all you can ask.
That's correct. He'll do what it takes to get it turned around, and it is in the right direction. I strongly believe that, and looking forward to the next few years down the road, see how we end up.
And certainly as you look at tonight's game, I think one of the key factors that's hampered Anderson County this year is turnovers. They've lost a bunch of fumbles. You can see they've had 17 turnovers. Oak Ridge has had 9. Oak Ridge has played one less game than the Mavericks, but penalty yards, 255 on 32 penalties, and the Mavericks again in that turnover category. This is a good football team. They've lost 11 fumbles this year, so it's you start losing that many fumbles on key situations, key drives, and playing the teams that they've played. It's hard to win those ball games.
That's right. It's not that really indicative of what type of team they have. The record's a little deceiving. Maybe just if they can eliminate the penalties and the turnovers, they could have picked up another victory for them in the previous games.
And you can see rushing. You mentioned the Mavericks rushing more than they have in the past, and a lot of that is because we saw a young man in our first game this year, Andy Long, that ripped CAK for over 300 yards. He has 1,080 of that 1520 by himself, and this young man not only is a power runner, he has really good speed. We've seen him run 70, 80-yard touchdown runs.
Right. He, I believe in the past couple of years he's been battling injuries, and this is the first time he came into the season relatively healthy, and it's showing. He's wanting to make up for lost time, and he's done so. He's just a phenomenal runner, and Oak Ridge will have their hands full with him, no doubt. He did a fine job against Powell and all the other teams they played. Over 1,000 yards already in 5 games, and just we went to key on him, I guess.
In years past, 1,100 yards rushing is a pretty good season for most high school teams, but that would have been about 3 or 4 games for Anderson County with Williams and some of the kids they've had up there throwing. But as you look at Oak Ridge, look how balanced, 850, 847, and if you're Coach Blade, he probably would wish that you had about 400 passing instead of 800.
That you know him well. That's a fact, and he likes the ground game, and there's no problem with that. We do have some potent runners. We got Matt Moore and of course Ryan Hall and Norman. Between the three of those guys and some of the other ones we have, any of them can really take it to the house on any carry.
As you look at the Wildcat schedule, they opened up with a big win against Farragut, a team that they've really struggled against the last few years. They got off to a good start, and then had some wins against Central and Powell and Halls. And last week the big game, and that game, Mike, had almost as much hype as a Florida game did. You know, anytime you play Maryville, everyone wants to see who's the next team to beat Maryville. But there's a lot of hype. It was a Thursday night game, so everything is off schedule. And against Maryville the last couple of years, turnovers have been a big part for Oak Ridge in that game. But it's going to be tough tonight now to get back. This is a district game. You got to forget the Maryville game. It was a non-district game. Hopefully you're going to look and see them down the road. So one of the big things for Coach Blade tonight is this week has been to forget that ball game.
Right. I think these guys they're chomping at the bit to get that put behind them and get back in the win column. And I look forward to seeing the effort that they're going to put out tonight, because I know several of the guys were maybe a little disappointed with their individual effort, but Maryville's a tough team. It's going to be hard for anybody to beat them without a perfect game.
As you look at the Mavericks schedule, they opened up with CAK, and it was just a shootout. I mean, it was up and down the field, and we had almost everything: kickoff returns, interception returns, punt returns. We had it all that night. And then they turned right back around and played Grace Christian, which almost mirrors CAK. And then they win at Campbell County, and the loss at Knox Central probably is the one. If you're Coach Gillum, that you go back and you say, guys, that's one that we should have gotten there. That's one that we really need to work around. And Powell, you're in the ball game. A couple turnovers kill you there against a really good Powell team. And so now they've got the win against Halls, and here they are. So if you look at their schedule, they've let a couple of games get away from them via the turnovers.
They could easily be 4-2 right now if they'd eliminate the turnovers and some of the costly penalties. Like I said, the record's not really a true showing of what type of team Anderson County has.
Well, we'll take a break, and we'll come back with more of the Channel 12 pregame show here right after this.
RMG, bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We'll buy it on the spot and we'll pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Rome Metals will treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Herman and Rockwood.
OEB Law was founded on the principle that everyone deserves to be treated fairly, because sometimes big corporations and insurance companies take advantage of the very people they're supposed to protect. When that happens, we step in and leverage all of our experiences and resources to fight for justice so families can take back control of their lives. When you get injured, call OEB Law, 546-1111, and turn your wreck into a check. Call 546-1111 right now.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-thru for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
Tennessee Barns & Buildings in Jacksboro has all your storage building needs. At Tennessee Barns & Buildings, you can pick out your building, then custom design it how you want it, and then have it delivered. Our friendly staff will help you with all your design needs. Are you worried about financing? Well, at Tennessee Barns & Buildings, there's no credit check, so no one is turned down. Plus, you can rent to own your own building. Tennessee Barnes & Buildings in Jacksboro says come on down and see Hannah or Mary Beth for your next building. Or call 423-449-8139.
Right now you'll see District 3 AAA here as Oak Ridge is 3-0 in the district. Powell right now leading with 4-1 in Central 3-1, and then you see Powell and Hardin Valley played last night, so that's the reason that they've got the extra game there. Anderson County still 2-2, so a lot of football to be played as Anderson County still has Carnes, Clinton, Hardin Valley to play yet, so they still can make some noise. And right now, Mike, really just trying to get into the playoffs.
Right. It's a tough district. It's it was I guess good to see Clinton get in the win column after 17 losses, and they had a tough game with Campbell County last week. But Oak Ridge on top, looking to stay on top of District 3 AAA, and tonight's going to be it'll be a test for them.
And the win over Powell was huge in this district because that gives you one up. So you really have to lose 2 games before Powell can overtake you. So a big win there, and that's another team that the last couple of years had given Oak Ridge some trouble. So a big win for Coach Blade and the Wildcats.
Right. It's like I said, we play some of the toughest football in East Tennessee, and not just in this district, but District 4 AAA. You got teams like Maryville and Bearden, and they may be squaring off tonight.
They play tonight, as a matter of fact. So that'll start to separate that district. West and Lenoir City playing awfully well right now. West with a close win over Lenoir City, but those 4 teams really can battle it out with anyone. And of course, Catholic and Lenoir City play tonight, so that's another situation that's going to separate a little bit. And Farragut down a little bit this year, but still right in the thick of things in the district race.
That's true. You can never count them out. They've had a strong program for several years, and you mentioned earlier, they had Oak Ridge's number for I guess about 6 or 7 years in a row, and we took care of it this year. But you just can't never rule them out of any game.
Of course, in District 4 AA, CAK and Alcoa, and I think that game is like either week 9 or week 10 because they'll come right back and play each other in a couple weeks in the playoffs. So both of those teams, though, really playing well. And Kingston losing to Alcoa last night, and they still have some big games left. They still have to play CAK. So those 3 teams will pretty much have the say in that district. But another really tough district in our area that these teams have to play. And the number one team in the state in single A is Greenback, and Greenback and Grace play tonight. So some huge ball games around East Tennessee tonight, as Tellico Plains is the only other team with a win. Rockwood and Harriman will play tonight in a big battle at Rockwood. So Greenback trying to stay in tune with the number 1 ranking in the state, but they'll have a really, really tough time going to Grace tonight and getting a win.
That's right. Congratulations going out to Grace's Will McCamey. I know he committed to Navy yesterday, I guess it was. So that's real. Says a lot about him and his family too. So
it really does, and a scholarship to one of the academies is you can't put dollars on it because there's so much more that comes with it. You get to defend your country. You get an education that's probably in the top 2 percentile in the country, and it just goes on and on and on. So congratulations to him. District 4A, Cofield and Oneida, another 2 teams that are really good on the field, 2 teams that don't like each other, and 2 teams that that really get after it when they play. But before Cofield can get to Oneida, they've got to take on Wartburg tonight, which is a pretty good football team, and that's a huge county rivalry that'll be taking place in Wartburg tonight. So stay off of Highway 27 north tonight because both ways it'll be a busy highway.
That's true.
Oliver Springs is at Jellicoe tonight in another big game, and Oakdale is at Oneida. Again, I want to say that we're joined tonight by Mike Kelly, a former Wildcat player and graduated in 1982 from here, and you know, Mike, tradition here is huge. It's really never gone away, and when the train whistle starts blowing, if your adrenaline isn't at an all-time high, you don't really need to be playing, do you?
That's true. Being a player, especially, just getting to walk down the steps and walking onto the field is a special thing. I know when I was a kid, I would stand along those same steps and hit people in the shoulder pads and all that, and then to be able to have that experience myself on the other side of the steps, other side of the rail, then it was real special and will always mean a lot to me playing at Oak Ridge, especially playing with Coach Hill and Coach Young.
You know, probably I would dare say that probably one of the best venues in high school football in the state of Tennessee. It has to be in the top 10 in the state of Tennessee. First of all, you're off campus.
Yes.
You know, you've got the big, really nice stadium. Got to be one of the best.
Some of the best football games in the state have probably been played on this field over the years, and like I said, being a part of the tradition, everything means a whole lot, and we look forward to continuing this tradition with Coach Blade for many years to come.
We'll take another commercial break, and we'll come back with more pregame activities here in just a moment.
Hey, it's Jack Ryan. You've heard this. I wish there was a morning radio show playing country songs that we could really love. Well, now there is. Will Heinwall in the morning with your forgotten favorites and only the new country you love on 96.7 Merle.
Hello, I'm Jason Palant, Chief Administrative Officer here at Roan Medical Center. Now that all of our services are open, we're so excited to welcome you back. To help ensure your safety, we've enhanced our cleaning protocols, wearing masks, screening everyone, and practicing social distancing. So although we may look a little different, we still have the same skilled professionals you've entrusted with your care all these years, because you're our #1 priority and the reason we're here. We are ready to serve your healthcare needs. Thank you.
Well, just a few minutes away from kickoff here tonight at Blankenship Field. Again, where the Wildcats taking on the Mavericks of Anderson County tonight in a big rivalry game. It's a game that the Mavs would surely like to get into their belt. Mike Kelly and certainly help turn their season around.
Yes, it would, and like I said, you never can count them out. That running back they've got, he's a one-man wrecking gang, I guess they used to call him. And Oak Ridge really have to stop the running attack. I mentioned earlier they were known in the past for their passing game, but the ground game has kind of taken over this year, and it's going to be some fire. There'll be some fireworks on the field, no doubt.
Probably hard, really defensively, to stop these teams. I mean, both of them are fairly explosive with pretty good offenses. Coach Gillum this year, instead of scoring on a one-play deal, I'm sure would much rather grind it out and eat about 6 minutes off the clock.
Right.
As the train whistle blows, and that means one thing.
The Cats are going down the 72 steps to Blankenship Field.
72 steps.
72 steps, yes, sir.
And here they come, led by Coach Blade and Hall. So the Wildcats are coming out, and And, you know, one of the things here that I've always felt like was at a disadvantage to the visiting team is you're really taken out of your elements because it's so far up to the locker room. So once you leave the locker room, and I noticed the Mavericks are doing the same thing tonight, you're pretty much just down in the end zone, and you're out of that familiar setting that you have even in most other places where you go into a locker room.
That's true. It's kind of I don't know. It's kind of an imposing field to be a visiting team, and I know back when I was here, we had like 100 kids, and I've had players from the other teams saying, you know, the one thing we remember about Oak Ridge, besides just a good tough ball game, was you all just never quit coming out of the locker room. It's just one after another, and just on and on and on. So,
and they're still coming.
Exactly, they are. I noticed Ethan Wheeler, the all-time leading receiver for Oak Ridge, he got his ankle twisted last game against Maryville, and I hadn't heard before tonight that he was going to be able to play, but I see he's in his just in his uniform without his pads and stuff on, so he'll be a spectator tonight, and that will hurt Oak Ridge to some extent. Like I said, he's a great receiver and one of the team leaders, and I know he'll do his part to kind of coach from the sidelines a little bit.
You know, his dad was a starting quarterback at Rockwood High School.
Goodness.
And I'll tell you another little trivia about him. He was the first high school player I ever saw wear white shoes.
We'll have to ask him about that.
But he was a great quarterback, and it's no wonder that his son is a receiver because he could throw the ball so well that now he just wanted someone. He probably didn't want the pressure of a quarterback on his son, so he did the next best thing and let him go catch him. But he's an excellent receiver.
Yeah, great athlete, and we've been pleased and blessed to have him, I guess is the right word. Blessed to have him wearing the Wildcat uniform for the last.
So you see Norman and Hall, Clark out for the Wildcats there, and Oak Ridge has won the toss, and they want the ball.
Yes, sir.
They want the ball, and so that tells you about how this is going to go tonight here. You see 44 is long for Anderson County, as well as Chase, Randolph, and Hodge. So
Ethan Grumsky out for Oak Ridge with the captains as well.
Okay, but he'll be with you for the Friday night scoreboard show immediately following this game. And again, we want to thank our sponsors for allowing us to be here with you tonight. Courtney Oldendorf is back in the studio with us tonight, pushing all the buttons back there, and certainly I want to thank her and our cameraman. Jonathan McGluffin is up on top with Trevor Bogard as well, and of course Brad Jones at the controls here in a great spot. And well, Mike, I tell you what, the hospitality here is pretty good. I mean, this is about a 3-course meal here.
I know it. I need to stay out of here, but just speaking as a fan, I appreciate what BBB TV does. Bringing high school games to Anderson and Roane County, and you do a wonderful job, and you and Brad Jones should be commended.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you with us here tonight. The bands are through, the teams are on the field, and all we have left is the Tennessee Eye Care kickoff. So go by and see the fine folks at Tennessee Eye Care, 1798 Roane State Highway, 882-7470. They take care of my eyes. They'll take care of yours as well, and you'll see as the game goes along, we can see really well on the close first down calls, and we'll be right here with us. And I know that Mr. Queener will probably be trying to call them from his living room tonight, but he won't be seeing them as well as we are here, Mike, with our Tennessee Eye Care.
I know I've got some big shoes to fill, but I'll do my best.
You know, and one thing that Oak Ridge has and have always had, and it's probably Coach Saunders' responsibility, special teams.
Sure is. He's been coaching them since before I was playing, and he has that and the receivers. And when you think of all the great receivers and kickers, you know, all the All-State, the number of All-State players that he's coached, it's got to be up there in probably teens or 20s.
Moore is deep for the Wildcats. And kicking for the Mavs, Corey Morgan. And ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for the start, the Tennessee Eye Care kickoff here this evening. Kick, it's going to be a high short kick. Moore will take it at about the 18-yard line and tries to find a little seam, and he'll get it out to about the 32-yard line. So the Wildcats will have it on a Hammers first down at their own 32-yard line, and that's where the Wildcats will go to work.
That's good field position to start the game, and we'll see what Coach Blade has up his sleeve for the first play here.
Gray is split out wide to the left. Norman goes to the slot. Miller out wide as well. Hall, this is going to take it and run it. And Hall steps out of bounds, they say, at about the 43-yard line. And all Hall does that time is just comes out of the Wildcat package and picks up a blocker to the weak side and picks up good yardage. Good block right there from his back.
I'd be surprised if we don't see quite a bit of that tonight.
So it's another Hammers first down as Hall picks up 10 on the first offensive play for the Wildcats. Coach Blade calling the offensive plays here tonight. Basically the same formation. Ford comes up to the bottom of your screen. And Hall this time just gives it to Moore, and the Mavericks do a nice job of plugging it up. Pike on the stop for the Mavs, giving 1.
Second and 10 from the 43.
Wildcats out of just a Wildcat formation here. Oh, quick toss this time to Goins, and Goins picks up a couple of blocks, and you'll see just a quick toss looking for a block, and that time Morgan and Shelton on the stop. Big third down play, and my first big third down play of the evening, 3rd and about 4. Oak Ridge stays in the same formation. Across the middle, and it's incomplete as he overthrows that time Miller. And so the Wildcats will punt for the first time here tonight.
Good to have Jalen Miller back with the Wildcats. He missed the first 2 games battling mononucleosis, and made a good recovery, come back against Powell, catching 2 touchdowns the first game. So maybe we'll get some more out of him tonight.
McIntosh deep for the Mavs. 10:25 here left, first quarter. Kick is going to be McIntosh at the 20-yard line, and McIntosh will get it out to about the 27-yard line.
Cameron Clark and Elliot Norman on the stop for the Wildcats.
So the Wildcats punted on their first possession. So the Mavericks now will come to the line of scrimmage on the Hammers first down, and Clinton is up 9-0 early in this ball game. So Clinton going for their second win in a row. So it's homecoming at Clinton. Over the middle, did he complete it? Yes, completed for a first down. So Strickland on the completion. So Hodge gets a big completion right off the bat. Hodge this time faked it to Long and keeps it around the right side and gets it all the way down to the Wildcat 43-yard line. Great fake by Hodge.
Good stop by Rashad Gray, too. It's saved a potential touchdown there.
So big first down there for the Mavericks, and they'll have it again on a Hammers first down. Go by and see the fine folks at Hammers. Bird and Strickland. This time Long does get it, and Long's going to lose about 2. Mark it at about the 45-yard line.
Good job by Ramsey getting up the middle for Oak Ridge and stopping that run.
And Ramsey, a young man that goes both ways.
Right. We got a few on both sides of the ball that'll play offense and defense for Oak Ridge and Anderson County.
Hodge now looking over to the sidelines to get the play from the coaching staff. Coach Gillum does the offensive play calling, but you'll have 4 or 5 coaches over there signaling. Hodge this time again to Long, and Long just battles his way across the 40 down to about the 39-yard line, and Long gets about 3 of that by himself.
And took three Wildcats to bring him down. It's a good thing they were all there. So you can see his power just on that one run there.
So 3rd down and about 7, 8:44 here left now in this first quarter of play. And again, Long, the long running back. Hodge throws, complete. And it'll be a first down. So McIntosh, one of his favorite receivers, and all they're doing, they just go down and just button hook and catch. You know, Hodge just picks up the soft defender, and it's another Hammers first down. Johnson and Long, the running backs now on either side of Hodge. And this time it will be Johnson. Well, Hodge fakes it again. What a great fake by Hodge. I mean, he's keeping it in the belly a long time, Mike.
He sure is. He's already impressing me with his ability, and it's just a few minutes into the game. So.
I mean, he's getting the defensive end to really suck in on the stop, and great ball handling by Hodge that time. So Hodge, the big ground gainer thus far for the Mavs. It's another Hammers first down. And the Mavericks right now moving the ball on the ground. So Hodge now will give his team the play. And this time they will give it to Johnson. And again, Oak Ridge does a nice job. Elliott Norman that time comes in. So it'll be 2nd down and 9. But the Mavericks doing what we said they wanted to do. They're eating a lot of time.
They sure are. So it's different watching them run the ball more than pass. So kind of interesting.
So Johnson in motion, and he'll give it to Long. And Long will fight his way. He'll be short. Well, it looks like they're going to mark it right at the 10-yard line. So right at the 10. So bring up 3rd down and 4. So down in distance, your own schedule, 3rd and 4. Big play, though, and I would guess that if the Mavs pick up most of it, they'll go for 4th down here.
You would think so. It's
because
good
I'm
chance
sure
to score.
Coach Gillum knows he's going to have some points tonight.
Right.
Three probably won't win it. Hodge again, looking at Hodge's hit. How did he hang on to the ball? Wow. Grumsky that time comes in with a big hit. I mean, he's untouched.
Beautiful play.
I don't know how he held on.
I don't either.
Because he came from the blind side.
It's just good effort.
He's ready. Look here, that ball's hanging way out. That's a great job. Good camera work, guys. That was a great job of hanging on. 4th down and 8, and the Mavs appear to be going for it. They may have a freeze play that they use to try to draw Oak Ridge off sides. Nope, they're going to go, and Hodge looking across the middle.
Oh, good play.
And it's incomplete. Good play that time as McIntosh had the ball broken up by Miller. Good play because it looked like the ball was where it needed to be.
Right.
But the defender was right there.
Yeah, Jalen Miller, one of the Wildcats, several Wildcats that play offensive.
So that's just one of those plays, a good pass, good defense.
That's it.
And just like that, the Oak Ridge Wildcats hold and will take over on downs, and it will be 1st and 10 on a Hammers first down. If you're Coach Gillum, you got to like what you saw.
Right.
Just didn't get any points. Now you got to turn it back over to the defense.
Right. I'm sure the offense will be trying to build on that first drive.
So Hall now will lead the Ridgers, and over the left tackle this time is Moore, and Moore is going to have it out to about the 23-yard line, and Moore does a nice job of finding the little hole, hits the seam, and Johnson has to come up and make the tackle with Shelton. So 2nd down and about 4 for Oak Ridge. Hall this time gets the low snap and just follows his blockers, and Hall will have it out to about the 28-yard line. It'll be a Oak Ridge first down. Nice job that time by Hall. He just follows Norman, and he picks up good yardage. McIntosh comes up from his safety position. Well, anytime the safety's making it, you know you've done well.
That's a little low on the snap there, and great job by Hall to recover from that.
5:10 now here left in this first quarter of play. Hall looking across the middle, a nice catch, nice throw.
Rashad Gray on the reception for the Wildcats. Big first down, and we talked earlier in the game that turnovers and penalties have hurt Anderson County, and you can see what happened on that first drive. They didn't have either, and they were able to move the ball. So,
boy, Hall had a nice pass on the slant that time, and they'll pick up another first down. So it'll be another Hammers first down for Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge staying. Well, this is a little different formation. They'll give it a quick pitch to Norman, and the ball's loose, comes right back to him.
Very fortunate on that.
So on the quick pitch, had the big guard pulling, and Norman trying to make a cut. Morgan comes up, and looks like Morgan hit the ball, knocked it loose, but it came right back to Norman, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. This first quarter moving right along.
Sure is.
Running the football like they are. So Hall will get the snap, looking to throw. Man is there, and it's must thrown behind. So Hall misses his receiver that time, Goins. But the Hall with a lot of time to throw, put a nice zip on it. I believe it was tipped.
May have been.
I believe it was tipped.
A little bit behind him, and I think he was surprised that it went behind him. So.
Yeah, I believe right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Good defensive play by the Mavericks.
Good job. So 3rd down and 10. So Wildcats looking for a big play. Hall fakes, looks across the middle again, and it's incomplete as again thrown a little bit behind him. Miller looked like he had good position that time.
Like I said, just a little behind him, and they'll work on. He throws so hard. If you don't get it pinpoint accuracy, it's kind of hard to catch sometimes.
McIntosh back in deep punt formation again for the punt return. Nice high spiraling kick. McIntosh is calling for the fair catch and has to go to a knee to catch it. So Hunter Sumner with a nice punt for the Wildcats. And Anderson County now will take over on a Hammers first down, and it will be 1st and 10. Ball will be placed at the 19-yard line. So the Mavs taking over deep in their territory on the nice punt by Summer. So Hodge will go to work as the Wildcats spread out along the running back. It's like two tight ends in for the Mavs, and they'll pitch it out to Johnson, and it didn't look like much was there, Mike, but Johnson turns it up and gets about 3 yards.
Sure did. A good effort, and once again held the pitch till the right time and made a good call, and they were able to get some yardage out of it.
So a lot of scarlet shirts out there. Second down, we'll call it 6. Oak Ridge that time doing a good job defensively of stringing the play out. So Hodge this time looks, pass is complete to McIntosh. They just run that play so well. I mean, it puts so much pressure on the defensive backs that you have to. I mean, that's 7 yards soft.
Right. That looked like Springs slipped a little bit. I'm sure the ground's a little bit wet from the rain we've had today, but just a well executed play, as you said.
So advantage receiver.
Exactly.
Another Hammers first down. McIntosh comes in motion. They'll give it this time. Hodge will keep it. And Hodge will cross the 35 out to about the 37. And was just really impressed with Hodge here on these fakes. I mean, he is really right now got Oak Ridge really guessing as Norman comes in to make the stop that time.
Yeah, Zach Clark getting in on that as well, and he's had a great season for Oak Ridge. Norman, the leading tackler for the Wildcats, and he's already added to that total several times tonight.
2nd and 6 now for the Mavs. And this time they will give the long. And again, Oak Ridge pretty much stops him up front. And again, I think Clark that time on the stop. And Oak Ridge is doing a really nice job up the middle on long.
They sure are. It's like I said, they got their hands full, but they're doing good.
Big third down play now for both of these teams. As the first quarter coming to a close. Hodge, this time it's batted down. Wow. And coming in to make a big play was Ramsey, and that's Ramsey's second big play tonight.
Yeah, we'll be saying Ramsey's name several more times throughout the night, I'm positive.
And he almost came up with an interception.
He was trying his hardest.
So it's going to be 4th down for the Mavericks now, and the Wildcats should get pretty good field position off of this punt.
Brandon Bonds deep for Oak Ridge.
So he's going to let it hit and then take it, and Johnson's going to make the stop. So Campbell on the punt, nice snap, had time, and it was sort of a low kick that's going to hit and take it on one. I'm not sure. He got lucky, didn't he?
He did.
By not getting hit any harder than that.
He did. He may have saved Oak Ridge some yards too, though. So
I think he thought he'd called a fair catch, but when it hit the ground, fair catch is over.
That's true. That's right. Yep.
Anyway, it's 1st and 10. Hammers first down for the Wildcats. Now they take over. 1st and 10 at their 27-yard line. Hall this time is going to try to get some running room, and he'll get none. May lose a yard. Looks like Shelton was there for the Mavericks in his linebacker position. 2nd down and 10. Well, you just have to respect the speed of Hall so much that you just really have to contain him.
It's true.
Hall this time back to throw, has a man on the curl, and it's almost intercepted. Shelton had it really in his numbers. The bread basket was open. And just a little high, though. We'll have to look at that again. Yeah, just a little high, but a big play by Shelton. And that's the second play this series for Shelton, 3rd down and 10.
Both teams' defense, they're rising to the occasion and making some big stops.
So 40 seconds left here in this first quarter of play. So Hall again, back to throw, being pressured. Hall gets away, throws it down, and looked like Miller might have had that catch. Hall did a nice job that time of getting out in the flat. As Morgan, nice block there to get Morgan past him. So Hall has the pass, and I think Miller agrees. He probably should have had it.
I think you're right, and Ryan Hall just a great individual effort on that attempt, and got to give him credit. He made an attempt at a good play and was able to get out of that rush.
Sumner on the punt for the Wildcats, a nice kick that'll come down, and a fair catch asked for, and they'll talk about that one.
I think he had some room, didn't it?
Yeah, they'll talk about that one tomorrow because he probably had 6 or 7 yards in front. There's 5, 6. So
I think he realizes it too, looking at his expression.
Anyway, it'll be another first down, and right now you're just trying to avoid those turnovers.
Exactly.
It'll be a Hammers first down with 24 seconds left here in the first half.
I don't think we've had a penalty called yet, have we?
I don't think we have in the first quarter. And there it is. Right up the middle is Long. Can anybody catch him? Long is going to score, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what you keep plugging away for.
There's the flag, too. I saw. Oh, they wait. No.
So the ball was on the 34. 66 right up the middle, and we've seen that one before, Brad Jones. And there's the speed we were talking about before too, Mike, is not only can he power up the middle, he's got the speed.
Good combination right there.
Morgan will now try the point after. And how big are these things? Kick is up, and the kick is good. So the Mavericks score first on the big run by Long.
They have to be pleased right now, the momentum that they had, especially that first drive, getting down as close as they did, even though they didn't score, and then being able to capitalize on this one.
At OEB, we know lives have changed. Parents have become teachers, and our homes are now our offices. The roads may seem empty, but people are still driving and still working. And when they get injured because someone else was careless, they know they can still depend on us. We are OEB Law. And the one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to helping people right here at home. We're just a phone call away. 865-546-1111. OEB Law.
Well, we'll get ready for another Tennessee Eye Care kickoff. And certainly you'll be pleased with Tennessee Eye Care. It's located at 1798 Roan State Highway in the Pinnacle Point Shopping Center. Give them the call at 882-7470 for all of your eye care needs. They have an optical shop, everything that you need. Mike Kelly, right now, the Mavs have pretty much owned this first quarter.
Yeah, like I said, we mentioned at the beginning of the game, they got to make not make mistakes and the turnovers, penalties, and things like that. And so far, they've been able to do that.
Morgan will take the kick down to the 1 yard line, and Moore will bring it out to about the 24 yard line. So a nice return by Oak Ridge, and Morgan almost outkicked his coverage that time.
That's true. We saw an outstanding run just a minute ago, but Matt Moore has the same type of speed. If he can hit the hole and get a few moves, we could see possibly Oak Ridge doing the same thing.
So probably last play of the first quarter right here as Oak Ridge comes out. Offensively, so Hall this time behind Norman, out to the left side. Turns the corner, And Hall will get it out to about the 36-yard line where he'll have a Hammers first down.
And Norman opened that hole up for him with an excellent block.
He really did, and I would think that at the juncture of the game right now, won't Coach Blade probably try to get him a running game established?
I would be very surprised if we see a lot of passes in this series.
So with that, we'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Muncie Pharmacy is your locally owned hometown pharmacy. They accept most insurances, so why go to the large chain pharmacies when you get better customer service at Muncie Pharmacy? Have a special prescription that needs compounding? Muncie Pharmacy can handle those needs as well. Muncie Pharmacy has a drive-through for your convenience and offers free delivery in the Oak Ridge area. And don't forget the gifts that we have available for all occasions.
Here at Muncie Pharmacy, we take the time to know you and treat you like family.
Hall starts out wide to the right and comes back and gets hit from the backside. Alex Chase pursues him, and well, that's really not what you wanted on a series when you're really trying to make something happen and you're 2nd and 14.
That's true, and it's times like this when you're missing your leading receiver, Wheeler.
Ford comes out wide to the bottom of your screen. Hall looking across the middle. He makes the completion out to about the 42-yard line to Miller, and Miller makes a nice grab. So McIntosh comes up to make the stop, but Miller gets him in pretty good position now. At least it's a manageable 3rd and 5.
True. Yeah, Miller's dad was actually a captain on the 81 team, and his brother was all-state receiver here at Oak Ridge, so it runs in the family.
So he's got some tradition here to uphold here.
Yes, sir.
Nice catch on that pass. This time Hall back, and Hall's going to throw it over the maul. What a catch. Oh, incomplete. I thought he had it. What an effort. What an effort that time.
I thought he had it too.
I thought he'd come down with it.
I sure did.
And you could see that, I thought he had it. You could see that Hall was under pressure that time, but I thought a great catch. But it'll be 4th down and 5. Another nice high, sparely wobbly kick. That'll be fair caught at about the 29-yard line by McIntosh. So again, the Mavericks pretty good field position on a Hammers first down. Oak Ridge defensively, Mike, this time needs to really make a stand.
They sure do. I look for them trying to shore up that middle and prevent another run up the gut from happening.
So we start second quarter, 10:23 left here in this first half of play. Cofield's leading Wartburg 13-0. So Hodge this time will give it to Long. Long keeps it, bounces it outside, and Long still running down the sideline, and he goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. But Long, another excellent run as he bounces it outside and then just breaks a tackle. You see right here, he breaks one there, and Norman pulls him out of bounds, but it's another Hammers first down.
It's easy to see how he's got over 1,000 yards already. This kid's pretty special.
So Hodge now on the Hammers first down, looks to the bench. And they give it to Long again, and Long again keeps his feet. And they finally drag him down, pulled his helmet off at about the 44-yard line. Now, did they pull it off or did it come off? If it came off, he's got to leave for a play, and he's going out.
A great lead block on that play, 57 from Anderson County. Just did a good job opening that lane for him.
So that's Matt Pike, a kid that plays both ways. and you got to really love the way that Long just keeps his feet moving.
Right.
Another Hammers first down for the Mavericks. And we'll be under 10 minutes now left in the first half as they continue to just churn yardage plus the clock. This time Hodge on the quick pitch on the option play, and there's running room out to the left. Fleming gets outside and gets it all the way down to the Oak Ridge. And that was Hamill.
Looks like Gray might have maybe tweaked a knee or an ankle or something. He's kind of limping around.
So another Hammers first down, and just like that, the Mavericks now are closing in on the red zone here for the Oak Ridge. This time, again, they'll give it to Johnson, and Johnson will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Big play that time by Grumsky. And Grumsky, your man Grumsky there that we missed on the cap.
He's one of the leading tacklers for Oak Ridge as well. Does a fine job. Super kid.
Second down and 10. Long back into the ball game. Johnson is in the slot to the right. Strickland to the bottom of your screen. This time fake to Long. They'll hit the wide receiver on a slant out there, and that's McIntosh. And McIntosh will be right at the first down marker. Let's give it to him. 1st and 10 on the Hammers first down for the Mavericks, and Hodge just an excellent throw that time on the slant.
Got to give Anderson County credit. They're putting together a half of football that's as good as any that Oak Ridge has seen all season.
And as we mentioned earlier, these 4 and 5 minute drives, they've had it over 3 minutes here now. McIntosh can't come up with it as the ball was thrown behind him. And that's probably the worst pass Hodge has thrown tonight.
That's true. He's looked really impressive, and
of course he had a man barreling down on him. That might have had something to do with it, as they were just trying the little dump pass out to McIntosh. Second down and 10. And again, from this position, Mike, they'll be a 4-play territory.
That's it. Yeah, Oak Ridge has been able to come through with a stop once before, and we'll see if they can mirror that performance.
Hodge this time looking back again to McIntosh. Nice play, and he's going to score. It's a good block and a good move by McIntosh. Did sort of a little twirl to the inside. And the Mavericks have gone up 13-0. Watch out here to your top of your screen. He makes it. Bang. Good block right there. Wow. What a block.
That's just fundamental football right there.
It's like Adrian Owens. I'll tell you, I believe I could have done that one off after that block.
Maybe you.
Morgan again, the kick is up and the kick is good. And boys, just like that, the Mavericks are out 14-0. We'll be right back.
Tennessee Barns & Buildings in Jacksboro has all your storage building needs. At Tennessee Barns & Buildings, you can pick out your building, then custom design it how you want it, and then have it delivered. Our friendly staff will help you with all your design needs. Are you worried about financing? Well, at Tennessee Barns & Buildings, there's no credit check, so no one is turned down. Plus, you can rent to own your own building. Tennessee Barns & Buildings in Jacksboro says come on down and see Hannah or Mary Beth for your next building. Or call 423-449-8139.
Mike Kelly, again, we appreciate you sitting in here tonight, and right now the Wildcats have dug themselves a little hole.
Yeah, it's going to be a very important series for them, get things turned around. But like I said, you can't overlook the effort that Anderson County's put forth, and just the fact that they've been able to put some good drives together.
.8:22 left here in the first half of play, and Morgan will kick it off again for the Tennessee Eye Care kickoff, and his kick is going to be taken down at the 5-yard line. by Moore, and Moore's out to the 20, breaking loose, and Moore, elusive Moore, gets an angle, and there's one man to beat, and Moore will take it all the way down to about the 18-yard line, and just like that, exactly what you've been alluding to happens.
He's known as a speedster on the team, and
and his kick is going to be taken
down at the 5 yard.
He's got some great athletes. You saw it right there. They were able to track him down.
Well, right there, a good opening, good blocking by the Oak Ridge special teams, and he gets a good angle right there onto the outside. Good cutback. And Irwin comes to save the game, the run there for Anderson County. But if there was ever a time for a kickoff return, that was it.
They needed that. Could be a big shot in the arm for Oak Ridge.
Central is up 14-9 over Clinton. And here we are, 8 minutes left in this first half. Hammers first down, Hall to the right side. And Hall is going to be hit, but he breaks away. And Hall will get back. Instead of losing about 3, may lose 1. Hall did a nice job that time of keeping his feet moving and avoiding the loss. So they're going to mark it back at the 17, so it'll be 2nd and 10. Anderson County that time doing a really nice job from defensive end position. Morgan out there to turn Hall back inside. Oak Ridge now in the I formation. So they'll quick pitch to Moore, and Moore will have it down to about the 10-yard line. So just a quick pitch. Norman leading the way. And Shelton on the stop. 3rd down, 4.
I know Oak Ridge really does want to get 7 on the board, but if they do have to try a field goal, they do have one of the best kickers in the state with Brett Beeler.
I saw him trying them from 55 in warm-ups.
He can hit them.
CAK is up over Scott County. Big 3rd down play for the Ridge. Hall looks across the middle, incomplete. Looked like he had his man Goins, but again, it looks like a good defensive play by Anderson County on the little slant play, and it was tipped out there, it looks like, by Johnson. So again, Anderson County comes up with a big play. And Coach Blade now with a decision on 4th down. It looks like Coach Blade is going to go for it. And down 14-0 right now, you can understand why he wants to give his team a chance right here to at least get the 1st down, if not the touchdown, and Oak Ridge will call timeout. 6:24 left, first half of play. And Mike, if you're Coach Blade, you really don't want to have to use a timeout like that, but in this particular situation, you really want to make sure everybody's on the same page, because this is a key play.
Right, they were down to 3 on the play clock and couldn't afford to take a penalty for sure.
Big 4th down play for Oak Ridge. Hall in the gun. So Hall's just going to come around the left side with a lot of blockers in front, but Anderson County just does a nice job of coming up and making the stop. Mike, I don't believe he made it.
It doesn't look like it.
They're going to measure. It's going to be close, so Hall's just going to come around the left side with a lot of blockers in front. Again, Anderson County coming up from the right side, making a good defensive play.
Big stop by the Mavericks.
Big stop.
Yeah, we said it before. The record really doesn't show what type of team Anderson County's got, and they've been able to eliminate the mistakes and the turnovers tonight, and you see what a difference it's making.
Well, 6:14 left here in the first half of play, And now Oak Ridge with the Mavericks on their own 8-yard line will certainly try now to at least make a stop and try to get a turnover. And again, this is what the Mavericks have faced all year, trouble on the turnovers. Long that time will cross about the 7, so he'll lose about a yard. Coach Gillum would certainly like to get a little room here out of the end zone here to operate with, but that time the Oak Ridge just comes up with a big play as Norman turns it in. But one thing about Coach Gillum and the Mavericks, they're not afraid to throw anywhere on the field.
That's for sure.
In most cases, a pass to them is just a short running play, and there it is. And McIntosh completes it, and it's right at the stake. It looks like a first down.
Showing a lot of poise back there in the pocket and just making some excellent throws tonight.
And they're almost all timing plays, and he just throws to a spot, and the receivers know where to go. So it's a Hammers first down for the Mavericks. And they'll have it out at about the 19-yard line. So again, this time they'll quick pitch to Johnson, and Johnson will have it out to about the 29-yard line. Clark on the stop for Oak Ridge. Mike, it's another first down.
Just eating the clock and doing it on the ground and through the air.
Nice block by the wide receivers. And it's another Hammers first down. And we'll start this play under 5 minutes here in the first half. So the Mavs eating the time off the clock. Hodge back to throw, throws out, and throws really into double coverage out there.
And he may have seen that and went ahead and let it go over his head, let it sail a little bit.
That ball was in the air a long time. He's throwing all the way across the field, and there you see double coverage. So high-risk pass.
Exactly.
Much more so than the 6- and 8-yard throws that we've been seeing from Hodge here.
We may not see too many of those, the long across-the-field passes.
So this time they'll go, oh! Well, this time Long got hammered up the middle by Grumsky. Bang, right there.
Tyler Dowdy doing a fine job as well for Oak Ridge.
And then Norman takes care of Hodge. So 2 big hits on the same play for Oak Ridge, 3rd down and 11.
That's what Oak Ridge needs to get back in this game.
So you would have to guess this time that Hodge will, first of all, I think I would find McIntosh. That's been pretty much his best receiver. And this time he throws it, and it's going to be incomplete.
More good pressure from Oak Ridge. Kind of hurried him a little bit. Darius Patterson out there for the Wildcats.
And Clark right here from his linebacker position with a good play on the intended receiver, Strickland. So Oak Ridge did what they're supposed to do. They'll put, Oak Ridge will now have the punt return on. Campbell will be in punt formation for Anderson County. And the kick is a high, wobbly sparrow that a fair catch will be asked for. In great field position at the Oak Ridge 40-yard line. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in the half. Plenty of time.
You think Blade might try to eat as much time on this drive as he can and get some kind of ground game going?
I would think that he would try to get the ground game, but I, if he can score in a minute, I think he.
Oh, that's true too.
I think he would, but I think at some point he's got to get that ground game established here. Anderson County will get the second half kickoff. That should be a flag. As Hall looks, beats the first man and keeps his feet. That gets it out for about a 7-yard gain. I thought we had some.
I did too.
Some neutral zone activity right there. But it's a big play for Oak Ridge. 2nd down and 6. 2nd and 4, I'm sorry. 2nd and 4. A gain of 6. Goings up to the top of your screen. Hall this time. Up the middle is Goings. Moore.
Yeah, Matt Moore getting the handoff.
Have it up to about the 47-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4. This has sort of been Oak Ridge's Achilles heel here tonight, these 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s. See the clock running. CAK's up 26-6 on Scott County. Hall this time, back to throw across the middle, and it's incomplete. This is going to bring some flags out.
I'm not so sure he would have caught that pass even without the flag, without the penalty.
But Gray is going to get the benefit of the flag, and that will be a 1st down for Oak Ridge.
Let's see if Oak Ridge can capitalize on the penalty. And Anderson County's done a great job staying penalty-free tonight and turnover-free. But comes back to haunt him on that play.
So had a hold of his jersey. Good call. Hammers 1st down. Hall this time again throws, and it's complete again to Gray. So the Wildcats will have a 2nd down and about 3. On this drive. Hall has Norman beside him in the backfield. This time they'll pitch to Norman. And Norman will fight for the 1st down. And they should stop the clock. Now they're going to stop the clock. Probably led about 6 seconds that time.
It looked like it.
Knowing it was close for a 1st down that time. So the ball will be at the 27-yard line. So it'll be another Hammers 1st down. They'll roll the clock. Hall again this time throws it out to Gray, and Gray beats the seam there, and he'll get it down to about the 11-yard line, and that'll be another 1st down. Gray that time doing a nice job of first of all catching the ball and then breaking right through right there, breaking a tackle and getting it on down. McIntosh making the touchdown saving tackle. So Hall again looking into the end zone. Gray is there. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. Now they're saying incomplete. Out of the end zone.
That's what it looks like.
Wow. Sure was.
Good call.
Sure was. Official right on the spot.
Great effort.
Looked like his momentum carried him out, didn't he?
Great catch, but that was the right call.
And what it looked like was maybe the ball was floating a little bit and his left foot on the line. Well, it's 2nd down and 10, 1:31 left here in the first half of play. Oak Ridge at the Anderson County 12-yard line. Oak Ridge now in the I formation. Hall this time will quick pitch to Moore. Moore trying to get outside. He does get outside, gets it inside the 5-yard line. And I thought he got out of bounds. Now they're stopping the clock. Ball this time will be 3rd down and about 2. But again, a couple seconds going off the clock there. There you see out of bounds and the clock's still running. So 3rd down and 1. They stay in the I.
Looks like
Norman is in for the touchdown. So Oak Ridge scores with 1:13 left. Boy, Mike, you were right on the money. Eat as much as you can and get points. That's a win-win.
That's right. If you can keep the ball in your hands and out of theirs, then that's a win-win for Oak Ridge, and it paid off with the touchdown. Now Beeler in for the extra point.
So Norman with the big run. The kick is up and no good. Looked like it was a sort of a knuckleball off to the left.
That's rare for Beeler, but it happens, and they'll just have to make up for it if they get another opportunity. And just I know Coach Blaze at least glad they were able to put some points on the board that drive and get a little momentum going into halftime.
Coach Saunders, the first one out to find out what went wrong.
Hello, I'm Jason Palant, Chief Administrative Officer here at Roan Medical Center. Now that all of our services are open, we're so excited to welcome you back. To help ensure your safety, we've enhanced our cleaning protocols, wearing masks, screening everyone, and practicing social distancing. So although we may look a little different, we still have the same skilled professionals you've been trusted with your care all these years, because you're our #1 priority and the reason we're here. We are ready to serve your healthcare needs. Thank you.
The Tennessee Eye Care kickoff. Invite you to go by and see the fine staff at Tennessee Eye Care. Doctors Browning, Wicke, Hunt, Minda, and Fleming. 882-7470, Tennessee Eye Care. So the ball blows off the tee as Beeler. And Beeler's been kicking since he was a freshman, right?
He sure has. Yeah, that one of the few that's done that. Probably the only one that's kicked all 4 years.
So Beeler will be kicking. Strickland and McIntosh will be deep for the Mavs. Beeler's kick is a high kick that'll be coming down to Long at about the 3-yard line. So Long now going back across the other side of the field, and he gets an opening, and Long is loose, and Beeler slows him down enough for help to arrive, so Beeler does his job.
Blake Goins with the stop for the Wildcats.
That's when Beeler probably tells him, get you a dose of that, big guy. It'll be a Hammers first down. Ball will be at the Maverick 27-yard line. 1:02 left here in the first half of play, so I wouldn't expect the Mavs to do much fancy stuff here. Try to get to the halftime, and they'll get the kick here to kick off in the second half to start things. So would think that they would be happy to get to the locker room. Give it to Long, and Long will fight for some yardage. He won't gain. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. So I would think the Mavs would probably get one more play.
Yeah, with their speed, Oak Ridge need to stay focused on this down for sure.
And again, Long gets outside, and he'll stay in bounds. Down the sidelines, and Long gets it all the way down to the Oak Ridge 37-yard line. So you may see the Mavs go a couple of times deep now.
That's true.
And Long, he just kept fighting, kept picking his way. And Norman finally comes down to put the claw to him, and Anderson County will take a timeout. So the Mavs take it. 1st and 10 on the Hammers' first down. Hodge now will look and get the play. I'm sure they've talked about it at the timeout. And Hodge looking. And it'll be incomplete as the umpire hits the ground. Norman that time breaks it up. I think Anderson County wanted some pass interference, good pressure. And it'll be 2nd down and 10. So 11 seconds left here. Hodge looking again, throwing it back on the play they scored on earlier to McIntosh. He'll get out of bounds. So Hall knocks him out of bounds, and this time the Mavs, again, this is the play they run the first time and scored. Oak Ridge does a nice job as Hall runs him out of bounds. So see if the Mavs this time try to take it to the end zone. Low snap. They'll give it to Long, and Long is loose, and he'll have to score as he gets knocked down again by Hall and Norman.
Like Richard Turner may have been in on that stop as well for Oak Ridge.
So Long again gets free. Of course, Oak Ridge knows this time you've got to get it into the end zone. So with that, we'll tell you that after 1/2 of play, it's Anderson County 14, Oak Ridge 6. Stay tuned for some outstanding bands being brought to you here at halftime. We'll be right back.
It's time for your natural gas scoreboard snack attack, brought to you by Oak Ridge Utility District.
Hi, I'm Leslie England.
And I'm Nikki Bradley.
We're with Oak Ridge Utility District, and this is your Scoreboard Snack Attack. And so we're from Oak Ridge Utility District. Tell us a little bit about what goes on at Oak Ridge Utility District, why it's so important we're showing natural gas products to cook on natural gas in this commercial. What's going on?
Yeah, if you haven't been down to our showroom, you guys need to come check it out. We have a full showroom of natural gas kitchen appliances. We also have washers, dryers, logs, everything you need basically to turn your home into a natural gas home.
And then this year, we added actually like where you could get your refrigerator, your full kitchen.
Yeah,
so everything
we do
can
full
match.
kitchen, your dishwashers, even things that aren't necessarily natural gas.
It rocks. So today what we're doing is we're doing a Snack Attack garlic bread. It's called the 3-cheese garlic bread. Okay, so we're starting off with 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 2 tablespoons of butter, which is also equal to a 1/4 stick, and 1 pressed garlic clove, but if you don't have that, 1/8 of a teaspoon of powdered garlic works just the same. Then we're going to go ahead and get 1 1/3 cup of crumbled feta cheese, and then 1 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, and this is grated. And we've got our chopped onions here, which are what are the chopped onions? 1/2 cup. Mm-hmm. So I think that's all of our ingredients. And then we have ciabatta bread over here, which we purchased. Just purchase a loaf at your local supermarket. All right, from there, what we're going to do is we're going to have to slice the bread up first before we do anything else. So y'all know how to slice bread, so we'll come back to this one after we get through slicing some bread. Okay, so now, Nikki, what we're going to do is we're going to mix the 3 ingredients, the first 3 ingredients off the recipe, which is the butter, the mayonnaise, and the garlic. And by the way, just so you know, you can find the recipes at www.oed.org. So go to our Scoreboard Snack Attack for recipes. We're going to do that in 1 bowl, just mix it up really good. And in the second bowl, we're going to mix all of our cheeses. And by the way, we're going to be adding some jack cheese to this.
Make it cheesy.
Make it cheesy. Our cheeses. So what we're going to do after we mix these 2 in, we're going to go ahead and spread.
Okay.
The first mixture. Sprinkle the second mixture. And smush, which gives you a S cubed.
Good one.
don't know if it's right, but it might. Sounds good. And then we're going to put it in at 475. And again, you always want to preheat your oven, your natural gas oven. And we're going to bake it for 12 minutes.
Okay.
See what comes out. And then when you take them out of the oven, you can serve them with pizza sauce or whatever you want to serve them with again. And they look delicious. Ready to eat one? My favorite part?
Definitely.
How about we split one? This is pretty big. Ooh, look how steaming hot that is.
Give me the big side.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to say anything about that, but here we go. That's delicious. It's hot, but it's good. Great. That would be great with spaghetti, wouldn't it?
That's very good.
Or lasagna. And that's your Scoreboard Snack Attack. Make sure you visit us at www.oed.org.
County High School Marching Maverick Band.
At OEB, we know lives have changed. Parents have become teachers, and our homes are now our offices. The roads may seem empty, but people are still driving and still working. And when they get injured because someone else was careless, they know they can still depend on us. We are OEB Law, and the one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to helping people right here at home. We're just a phone call away. 865-546-1111. OEB Law.
Hello, I'm Jason Palant, Chief Administrative Officer here at Roan Medical Center. Now that all of our services are open, we're so excited to welcome you back. To help ensure your safety, we've enhanced our cleaning protocols, wearing masks, screening everyone, and practicing social distancing. So although we may look a little different, we still have the same skilled professionals you've entrusted with your care all these years, because you're our #1 priority and the reason we're here. We are ready to serve your healthcare needs. Thank you.
Back at Blankenship Field, you've got to see two outstanding high school marching bands here tonight, and certainly that's a big part of our high school coverage. You can see some stats here. First downs, Mavericks had 15, Oak Ridge 8. Rushing yards, big difference. Mike, 21 for 217, 158 of that by Mr. Long for the Mavericks. Oak Ridge with 64 yards, and passing yards. Who would have ever thought that the Mavs here in the last several years would have been held? If you'd have just looked at that stat, 77 yards, you'd have thought it was a blowout.
They'd get 77 yards on a series on a drive.
So 294 to Oak Ridge's 117, and I think the real key, as we talked about before the game started, penalties, turnovers for the Mavs. No turnovers, one penalty on a pass interference play. And that's really, I think, the difference of this ball game.
That's definitely what we talked about before we started. That's proven to be the difference in this game tonight. Anderson County eliminating the mistakes and the turnovers, and just playing some great football. I mean, you just got to give them credit. They're really getting after it tonight and hustling and doing what they need to do to be on top.
Tennessee Eye Care kickoff. Give them a call at 882-7470. Beeler's kick is a little squibbly kick. It's been touched and will be brought down by Long, and Long will just get it outside. And Long is going to stay on his feet and be brought down right at midfield. And you squib it to get it away from him. It still ends up in his hands, and he still gets a great return. And a flag on the play. It'll be holding against Anderson County all the way back at the 20-yard line. 4-7-0. Beeler's kick is going to be a really great field position start for the Mavericks. Is going to come back.
We'll give Caleb Sherrills some recognition on that, helping make that stop for Oak Ridge, and with the flag bringing it back like you said.
So instead of 1st and 10 at midfield on the Hammers first down, 1st and 10 at your own 10. Big difference.
Sure is. That's something they avoided all the first half except the one play, and now to start the second half off, that's not a good sign for them.
You know, and you go back and look, whatever the outcome of this game is, you go back and look at that one particular situation right there. That is huge because, you're right here backed up all the way on your own 10-yard line. So as a second half play starts, the Mavericks try to continue where they left off. And this time Hodge is going to be stopped. And again, big play that time as they took away the pitch man. And when Hodge hesitated, the Wildcats were there.
Yeah, Norman busting through the gap there and kind of breaking things up.
You know, and when you look at Norman doing that, that probably was instinct, wasn't it? That, right. I mean, he's gone ahead and just said, hey, if I'm going to get beat, I'm going to get beat going after somebody.
That's it.
So 2nd down and 11 for the Mavs. Hodge looking. Hodge is throwing, and it's going to be overthrown out of bounds. And that time Hodge really just would know where to go. And, again, good pressure that time. And it looked like pressure that time was being applied by Grumsky. Boy, how many times have we called his name tonight?
That's several. He's having a great game and needs to continue doing so for Oak Ridge to stay in the game.
What if you're Coach Blade, Mike? Right here's the play so far of the ball game right here. 3rd down, 11. You've got them hemmed in. If you can make them punt, you're going to get great field position. Big play right here. And looks like it's going to be motion against Anderson County. I think the left side moved, I think.
That's got to be disappointing for their coaching staff, seeing how they were able to avoid in the first go-around and now 2 already.
You know, and you hear the old cliche that the first 3 or 4 minutes of the second half goes a long way in determining momentum. And boy, the momentum is really shifting here. 2 penalties now in this series, and now they're back to the 5-yard line. 3rd down and about 16. Hodge from his end zone looks on the little screen play to Long, and Long is going to ramble out to about the 18-yard line and be off about 2 yards short, but what it really does is it gives them some punting room.
Right.
Great
Oak
call.
Ridge still gets some good field position. Even with the punt, they should be, I guess, probably around the 40 to 50.
But, you know, there was your man out there, Clark, that time again with a big play. And Oak Ridge mainly that time wanted to make sure you don't get the first down. We'll give you 18. We're just not going to give you 20.
Right.
So Anderson County now to punt it away. Nice high spiraling kick. It's going to be caught at the 42-yard line. So great field position for Oak Ridge as Goins makes the fair catch. That wasn't Goins. That was Hall. So it's going to be a Hammers first down for Oak Ridge. They'll have the ball at their own 41-yard line. So just as the big defensive series, now they need one offensively.
They sure do. They need to be able to capitalize on what they did at the end of the first half and get a drive going and get things turned around for them.
My guess is that Coach Blade said, guys, we're going to run this football and we're going to run it and we're going to make some good plays, and they try to run it, and coming up is Bird to make a big play.
Nothing wrong with Anderson County's effort tonight. They're giving Oak Ridge everything they want and more.
2nd and 12, but until Oak Ridge establishes that run, their passing game is not going to be what they want it to be, is it?
Right. No. They've got to get more turned loose, and Norman get some big gains to kind of keep those DBs honed in the middle.
All this time looking back to throw, and he's going to be pursued and he's going to be brought down at about the 43. And you did mention before the game started, Wheeler, their leading receiver, out tonight.
Right, and that, you can see it's affecting the passing game already. Just a big loss for Oak Ridge. Hopefully have him back maybe next week, a big part of the offense and just one of the team leaders.
3rd down and 8. Do you see anything in the emotion or anything that's a carryover from the Maryville game?
That's a possibility. They could go either way. They could have came out. Oh, great pass.
Norman that time comes out of the backfield, and we've seen Hall throwing a little hard early. Look at this touch on this pass. I mean, that's right there where Norman could get it with his hands. Big play, Oak Ridge, and it's another Hammers first down at the Anderson County 40. But that was such an emotional game that there may be a
little bit of a letdown, and hopefully they can shake it off for Oak Ridge's fans' sake.
Well, they're moving here now, and Hall this time up the middle, and they'll gain 5 as Moore this time just goes up the middle. Good surge by the offensive line that time. And it'll be 2nd down and 5. Pretty nice position to be in down and distance-wise. And the other thing that Coach Blade is doing by continuing to run the football is that's wearing that Maverick defensive front down.
Right. Well, we know Anderson County can score points. They've put 40 up in at least 3 of their games this year. So the least amount we can keep it in their hands, the better for Oak Ridge.
This time Norman is going to ramble, and he'll get down to about the 27-yard line. where it'll be another Hammers first down. You know, Coach Blade's mentality is obviously punish, run, and I think that's what he wanted his football team to come out here this second half and try to establish.
I'm sure they got a nice little pep talk at halftime, and maybe that's kind of lighting a little fire under them.
So it's another Hammers first down for Oak Ridge. And this time Hall. And Hall fights his way down to about the 20-yard line, and that's what Coach Blade likes to see. That's the emotion that's been sort of missing here during this football game.
First half, they've been a little flat, and I kind of expected they would come out a little fired up after last week's performance, but it's maybe now it's kicking in, and we'll see how the second half goes here. But so far, they've really looked a little more lively this half.
And, you know, you have to assume that a lot of this started with those 2 penalties that the Mavericks had on offense to put the Oak Ridgers in good field position here. So Hall back to look back. He got Norman again out into the flat. And Norman just breaks a couple of tackles, and he's going to have a first down at about the 13-yard line. And like Long, you're not going to bring Norman down many times with one tackler.
No, sir.
He's swinging out to the left right here, and you see the kind of steam he has, and that's just one right there. He's going through 1 through 2 tacklers, and he's going to make you pay. So it's another Hammers first down at the 14. Oak Ridge on the move. Hall looking this time to the other side to Norman, and Norman does the same thing to the other side. Gets it down to about the 7, almost a mirror of the other play the other side.
Right. They're looking a lot better than they did about 20, 30 minutes ago. And it's, I don't know, like you said, the penalties starting the game have probably changed the momentum a little bit. But Anderson County still in the ball game. They're leading Oak Ridge, of course, but they're put up a good fight.
Second time that train whistle blows is a little different, isn't it?
Yes.
So Hall brings them up second down and about 3. And this time gives to Norman on the little inside counter play, and Norman that time 1 man away from breaking this one loose. Lindsay on the stop, and the official has an official timeout for the measurement. Well, it looks awfully close.
Sure does.
Looks like he's going to get it. Nope, he's going to be about a half a ball short.
Big play for Oak Ridge. Keep this drive going.
You know, and down here now with that missed extra point, Coach Blade may go ahead and kick one down here and you know, make it just one possession game.
Right.
So he doesn't have to chase points, as we say here on. Well, they line up in the I, and before this is a formation that Norman scored on the 1-yard run. So let's see if Norman this time is called upon to get the first down. They'll give it to Moore, the second man through. Moore has the first down, close to the touchdown. He does get it in. So touchdown, Oak Ridge.
Great second effort by Matt Moore. Get the ball across the goal line, and we'll see what Coach Blade decides to do. I don't see Beeler on the field, so.
Wouldn't you almost think that they're going to do something with Hall out here on some kind of option or something to either run it or throw it?
I think maybe the option to Norman, maybe. We'll see.
So Norman's in the flat. This time Hall's looking, and there it is. He's going to take it in, and he gets in.
Yep.
Nice decision that time by Hall. So we're all tied up, 14 apiece. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Jack Ryan. You've heard this. I wish there was a morning radio show playing country songs that we could really love. Well, now there is. Wilhite Wall in the morning with your forgotten favorites and only the new country you love. On 96.7 Merle.
Well, Oak Ridge comes out, Mike, and they win the first 3 minutes of this second half. Anderson County with a couple of penalties, one on a kickoff. Instead of having the ball at the 50-yard line, they get it at their own 10. Another penalty takes it back to the 5. Oak Ridge gets the ball and takes it in. Big difference.
Big swing in the momentum.
And on the Tennessee I Care kickoff, they get it in the end zone, so that momentum carries right in. So now the Mavs will have it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. And so now all of a sudden the momentum shift a little bit, so now it's up to the Mavs to reestablish what they had going in the first quarter.
You think they might try to focus on Long and get him some more yards and more carries and try to get them back in good field position, but Oak Ridge may be keying on him as well, so we'll see.
And the other thing is, I'm sure that they want to run that clock. Long this time is tripped up, and a big play that time by
Grumsky. Imagine that.
And
he is down. Actually, he's looks like he may have done something to an ankle. Maybe we won't speculate, but he's on the field right now.
And it looked like maybe he's got a cramp or something, but it looked like that he ran into Long as he was coming through. So it looks like maybe a cramp here as they're working on him, and so the trainers will be coming out. Stay tuned immediately following the ball game for the Friday night scoreboard show. David Queener and Marty Masson will be with you talking about all of the high school games in action tonight, and there's a bunch of key ball games tonight, as well as late night TV when they talk about the college games on tap tomorrow, and certainly a big game tomorrow down in Athens for Tennessee. So invite you to stay tuned for that. David, it's 2nd down and 8 now, and Mike, and as we look at this momentum swing here now, if you're the Mavs, you start getting in these 2nd and 8, 3rd and longs, and increasing the pressure on you. Everything first half had gone their way. Obviously, no turnovers, one penalty. So that's where they've got to get back to, and certainly Oak Ridge now, as you see Grumsky coming off with those cramps, and there's nothing any worse than that right there.
I can relate. I've had a few myself.
So this is a big series for both of these teams to try to reestablish and for Oak Ridge to maintain the momentum that they've picked up here in this first series in the second half.
Right. Everything seemed to be going the Mavericks' way the first half, and now Oak Ridge is experiencing a swing in things here.
So Hodge looking for the play from the sidelines. He'll have Long with him in the backfield. And they'll give it to Long, and Long breaks through. Long is at the 40, and Long will be out to about the 44-yard line. And it's just like that, Mike, how fast that the Mavericks attack up front. Well, good block.
Right. Good play by Jalen Miller to keep that from going any longer than it did.
Tell you, Matt Pike that time comes across and sort of traps the guard over here and gets them through on another Hammers first down. But a big play for the Mavericks. When you got to really like Long. What a runner. Andy Long with about 160 or 70 yards now. Hodge this time finds McIntosh down to the 48-yard line. Again on just a little slant pass. And Hodge is cool as a cucumber.
Don't have a lot of total yardage, but picking up 2 and 3 yards at a time. I mean, that's
well, and it's key
good.
plays,
right when they need it.
2nd down and 2 for the Mavericks. This time Long is going to be held short of the first down. So we got a helmet off. That young man will come out for a play. Dowdy
Spratling.
And that's a nice play. That's a loss of about 2 yards. So 3rd down and 3, ball at the 49-yard line of Oak Ridge.
It's a big play for both sides here.
Well, you got man coverage on the outside receiver. They just spread you so much, and now Anderson County will call a timeout. So with that, we'll take a timeout as well. We'll be right back.
John was a high school football star with his whole life ahead of him. And all that changed one Friday night when a drunk driver plowed into the side of his pickup truck. John will never play football again and needs constant medical care to get him through the day. The insurance company refused to pay for it until John's family called OEB Law. Call 546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check. Call 546-1111 right now.
3:38 left here in the 3rd quarter of play. The Mavericks with a 3rd and 3 at Oak Ridge 49-yard line. Big play in this football game. This time they'll give it up the middle, and it's going to be short. It looks like it's going to be short by maybe a half a yard. Give it up the middle.
Like it. And it's going to be short.
I don't believe it's that short, is it?
No. Look like a good spot for Oak Ridge.
Well, I'm saying I don't believe it's as short as the yard marker over there.
Exactly.
Is got it. 4th down for the Mavericks.
Who's trying to get the crowd involved.
Oak Ridge crowd coming involved. The players trying to get them involved. Hodge back to throw. Nice play. Nice play, nice call because Oak Ridge was coming.
They've had that most of the night, but you got to execute it, and they did. So hats off to Anderson County.
And you know, Mike, the other thing that you really have to look at in high school football, it's 4th down, trying to get some momentum back, and they're in the shotgun.
Right.
Now that's a lot of pressure on a young man center in the football.
Sure is.
Another Hammers 1st down for the Mavericks. This time Long. And Long fights, tries to get out, but coming up to make a big stop.
Tyler Dowdy.
Dowdy, and we've called his name a bunch.
Sure have.
And that was a big play because Long was fixing to continue some momentum.
He had some field in front of him. So
2nd down and 4, and that could have been another long play. Long play. .216 left here in the 3rd quarter. Ball at the Oak Ridge 41-yard line. And this is a bad snap. And if it was snapped, it's going to be illegal procedure probably against Anderson County. And don't know that we had a snap. That might have been the problem. Everybody went and the ball wasn't snapped.
Right.
So, again, there you go.
That's it. I was going to say, once again, the thing that's hurt them all year is coming back on them this half of football. They played virtually mistake-free the first half, and now they've had 3 penalties in just here in the 3rd quarter.
2nd down, 12. And the young man we've been talking about at center, Blake Mills, a junior. Low snap. Hodge across the middle. It's tipped and still caught. And McIntosh that time probably had a 1st down and then came back a little bit, trying to get some running room.
Well, it's tipped and still caught.
He's had a good night for the Mavericks. We've called his name several times.
Going to be 3rd down and short. Hodge that time has McIntosh limping a little bit. So they're going to bring the chains in. Hodge that time did a nice job on the low snap.
Right, put some air under the ball, floated it in there to him, and and may have got a first down.
You know, Mike, the other thing, when you're sitting on the opposing sidelines as it's just short, the thing that you have to watch is you have to watch your team doing a pretty good job on second down and then watch them continue to pick up third downs and move the chains.
Yeah, the Maverick fans, they have to be pleased with the effort their team's given tonight. They're giving us all we can handle.
And a big play there because McIntosh probably had the first down. Now they've got to go get it on third down. So it's third down and about a half a yard. And the ball is at the Oak Ridge 35-yard line. Big district game here tonight at Blankenship Field. And this time Hodge is going to fight, and he's not going to make the first down. It's going to be no gain as Hodge had to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Good play by Spratling from Oak Ridge to disrupt the potential pitch, I guess.
And it looked like Norman come flying again in from the linebacker position.
He's Oak Ridge's leading tackler, Norman is, and you can see why he's been all over the place tonight.
Another big fourth down play for the Mavericks. And one of the things that Coach Gillum has brought to this program, it doesn't matter what down it is, they stay as balanced and as calm as they do on any of them. Hodge this time floats it out again to Long. Long is going to be hit behind, and a flag is going to be thrown.
It could be against the Cats.
Is that going to be roughing the passer?
I think so.
Roughing the passer. And they had stopped Long on the first down.
Now Oak Ridge have been pretty mistake-free for the game, and now, this is happening. So both teams, the fatigue may be setting in for both of them too.
Well, that's a huge play in this football game with 22 seconds left in the third quarter of play. It appeared Oak Ridge had made the stop, and that was a great hit on Long.
Was.
One of the first times tonight they've stopped him in his tracks. So it'll be a Hammers first down. And I believe that's going to be illegal procedure. I believe the center moved a little bit. I guess that's what that was.
It was a little flinch. I haven't seen that one before.
Right. There. No, right here. Yeah. There it was, right there.
Raised up a little.
Raised up a little bit. So 1st and 15. And thus far, the Mavericks overcoming those penalties and keeping the ball moving.
They can't continue to do that, though. We'll come back and haunt them.
So that's probably the last play of the third quarter. We'll tell you our score, all tied, 14 apiece. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Jason Palant, Chief Administrative Officer here at Roan Medical Center. Now that all of our services are open, we're so excited to welcome you back. To help ensure your safety, we've enhanced our cleaning protocols, wearing masks, screening everyone, and practicing social distancing. So although we may look a little different, we still have the same skilled professionals you've been trusted with your care all these years, because you're our #1 priority and the reason we're here. We are ready to serve your healthcare needs. Thank you.
We start fourth and final quarter here at Blankenship Field, all knotted at 14. The Mavericks have the football, 1st and 15. The ball on the Oak Ridge 26-yard line. Big district game for both of these football teams. Again, invite you to stay tuned immediately following the game for the Friday night scoreboard show as we go back to Studio B with David Queener, Marty Maston. Snap to Long, and Long busts through the secondary. Long to the 25. Long is down to the 10-yard line, and another Hammers first down.
Caleb Sherrill's on the stop for Oak Ridge. Getting good pursuit on that play.
Well, Mike, he gets through the line fast, doesn't he? And then picks up power. And hung on to the football because they were trying to get it. And the ball is at the 10-yard line. So they're saying that he can score. It's right outside the 10, so they can get another first down. And Anderson County is going to have to call a timeout. Anderson County with a timeout, and Mike, how many times on this drive? At least 4. Has Anderson County had a big third down and twice a fourth down.
They've made as good a showing on Blankenship Field as any team has, including Maryville. I mean, Maryville, you kind of expected them to do stuff like that, but Anderson County doing a great job tonight. 1st and 10 for the Mavericks. Hodge looking, throws it into the end zone. Touchdown, and man, what a nice catch and what a nice adjustment out there. What a nice adjustment to Strickland. It's pretty good defense out there, but the ball was thrown to the outside, and Strickland actually turns his body around. Watch this. He almost turns a 360 right here around. Well, it wasn't quite that much till after. But he made a nice play on the ball. Sure did. Great
and
throw.
It was a good throw because the throw was to the backside.
Right.
And the Mavericks, Mike, have come out second half and done what they were supposed to do.
They're overcoming the turnovers, which they weren't able to do earlier in the season.
Bad snap, and it's going to be incomplete.
That could hurt them.
Kicking game,
yeah.
Huge. So 11-21.
Oak Ridge overcame a mistake on their kicking game, so Anderson County could do the same. They score again.
Well, 11-21 left in this football game. And I'll tell you what, Mike, there's no one leaving. There's no one that can ask for their money back tonight.
No, both sides are getting their money's worth, that's for sure. And like I said, Anderson County folks got to be proud of their effort. Oak Ridge coming back and making a game out of it, so their fans are getting back into it.
Morgan kicking off on the Tennessee I-Care kickoff for the Mavs. Moore deep, and Moore had a big return earlier, and that's why they're going to kick it short. They're kicking it short. It'll be taken at the 24-yard line, and they'll have it out to about the 36-yard line.
Valdez, yes.
And they weren't going to let Moore touch it again.
No, smart move on their part.
So on the Hammers' first down now, the Wildcats will go to work offensively, and it was pretty apparent that the last possession, Coach Blade was going to run the football. He was going to make his football team run the football, and they did so and responded really well. They had the 2 little flare passes to Norman to offset.
Right. Yeah, I look for more of the same.
So it's a 1st and 10. The ball is at the Oak Ridge 35-yard line. Hall this time will be stopped right at the line of scrimmage that time as he had Norman on the option, made one fake, and pretty good defense by Morgan, the defensive end that time. And then also coming up was Alex Chase. So a good play for the Mavericks, 2nd and 10 for Oak Ridge.
Yeah, Morgan stayed home like he's supposed to, and it paid off for the Mavericks that time, and they held Oak Ridge to no yards.
Central over Clinton 45-24. The fourth quarter. Fourth quarter here as well. Hall, and there it is to Norman out in the flat again. It's incomplete. So they're blowing it dead as Norman that time, unable to come up. So it'll be 3rd down and 10. And boy, it doesn't take many plays to get in a big situation, does it, Mike?
No, it doesn't. But just like with Hall, I mean, it takes one good play can get you back in it. So,
yeah, that's close to being behind. Hall again on the low snap, looking, plenty of time, throws it over the middle, and it's incomplete. Just enough behind Gray that time, that it really affected Gray's ability to reach back going full speed the other way. But he's wide. He's open.
If he'd been able to lead him, that could have been
6.
Easily.
Could have been 6. Gray was a couple of yards ahead of the intended the defender. 4th down for Oak Ridge. Strickland deep. Sumner to punt. High spiraling kick. Fair catch is called for and made at the 26-yard line by Strickland. So the Mavericks will go to work on a Hammers first down with 10-15 left here in the ball game.
Good job by Hunter Sumner getting the ball down the field on the punt.
You can tell that special teams is special here.
It really is. Coach Saunders puts a lot of effort into it and has for many years.
So the Mavs go to work now. Hammers first down. Hodge this time to Long, and Long fights and battles his way to about the 32-yard line. Well, you just can't say enough about how hard Long runs and how quick he hits the hole.
Myself, I'm going to look on the TSSAA side. I just want to see how he ranks in the state because he has to be up in the top running backs in the state in all classifications.
You know, and the thing that makes him so impressive is he can get you 1 yard or he can get you 80 yards.
That's true.
2nd down and 5. Boy, and this puts you at a real disadvantage because of Hodge's ability to do anything. And Hodge this time quick across the middle, and it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of McIntosh. And you don't see McIntosh miss many.
No,
but that's
tonight.
One right there he wishes he had over. Because that was a great throw.
Sure was.
And that's one, I guess, on that slant play right there in the back of your mind. You got to be looking to see if the guy's coming across the middle.
Might have heard a little footstep, too.
But here we are, another big 3rd down play. How many of these have we had tonight?
A lot. Oak Ridge needs to make a stop.
And this is going to be thrown down. Hodge is going to be hit at the 32-yard line. Big play by your man.
That'd be Tyler Dowdy. He's had his name called a few times tonight between he and Grumsky and Norman. We've had a few guys stepping up tonight.
You know, and the thing about that is they use less than 2 minutes of clock.
That's benefits Oak Ridge.
So now the Mavericks will ask for a big punt from Campbell, and the kick is away. It's a wobbly kick. It's going to hit, and it's going to bounce, and it gets a good bounce, and Oak Ridge finally downs the football at the 22-yard line. So Oak Ridge now will go to work on a Hammers first down. The ball will be placed at the 22-yard line. It will be 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
You got a ball bouncing like that, they didn't let that ball go.
I just can't believe that there haven't been more solid hits when they've picked them up.
I know.
So the Wildcats come out. Caleb Clement at center. Hall this time, big opening for Moore. Straight up the field, and Moore's going to go. Moore will score. And just like that, the Wildcats.
No flags on the play.
Have come out. Boy, and when you see them running like that, you know there's been some play in the trenches.
Yes. Offensive line making that play happen right there. He just went right up the gut.
Well, the play was right there, and then he just runs right through the secondary. Wow. So the big point after.
It is big.
And that kick looks good. It is good.
Yeah, Baylor's usually automatic, and that's a big kick for Oak Ridge right there.
So 78-yard run.
Very impressive.
8:28 left here now in the football game, and another Tennessee I Care kickoff. And just like that, Mike, Oak Ridge strikes back.
Well, they can't rest on that because we've seen Long what he can do tonight. So they still have to buckle down.
The kicking game already destructive for Anderson County once this year against Central, and looms big tonight. Long takes it at the 3, fumbles it, gets loose, and fortunately for the Wildcats, Boston was there because Long had beat those two and he had running room up the sidelines.
You said it right, fortunately for Oak Ridge.
You see Long right here, fumbles it, picks it up, gets through that right there. Now he's got a seam up the sideline, but comes over and makes a big snap. And once again, the Mavericks deep in their own territory. Again, Hodge this time keeps it. Well, actually gives it to Johnson. And
Richard
he will
Turner.
lose yards.
Clark and Turner in on the stop for Oak Ridge.
2nd down and 11. So Oak Ridge now with the momentum after the Moore touchdown run of 77 yards. Wow, what a hit. What a hit. Johnson on the carry.
Is that Grumsky?
And Grumsky just meets
Zach
him.
Clark, I'm sorry. Zach Clark. That's
boom. 7:29 and the clock runs. Another big 3rd down play. 3rd down and 8 for Anderson County. And you got to start thinking now, how many more possessions are we going to get? Hodge looking, throwing across the middle to McIntosh. He's short of a first down, though. He'll get it out to the 16-yard line. How big is the drop 3rd down pass now?
could be large.
McIntosh limping again. That's the 2nd time now tonight that it looks like he's had an ankle injury there. Will Oak Ridge now come after the punter?
I just wonder if Saunders has talked to the return man about leaving those balls on the field. You do not need a turnover at this point of the game, especially that part of the field.
Campbell, Jackson back, and it looks like the return folks have been a little deep tonight. I mean, they've all landed in front of them.
Sure have.
It's a low snap. He gets the kick off, and it's a high spiraling kick. The fair catch is called for it. He fumbled it, and it'll be downed by Oak Ridge at the 48-yard line. So it'll be a Hammers first down. Oak Ridge with excellent field position at their own 47-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. A lot of time left, the way these two teams have scored.
Yeah, Ethan Wheeler usually return man on the punt team, and you know nothing's hurt us tonight so far, and but it would be nice for Oak Ridge to have him back this week, but he should be back next week.
Except
hopefully.
maybe for some potential return
Exactly.
yards that you're not getting. So Coach Blade wants a timeout. Coach Blade's talked to his football team. It's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats after the punt. 6:28 left here in this football game.
Oak Ridge needs to hold on to the ball and maintain a drive.
Hall this time follow Moore through the line, and he'll cross midfield down to the 49-yard line, pick up of about 4 for Oak Ridge. And the clock will continue to run. We'll start the next snap probably with less than 6 minutes. So Oak Ridge to the line. Goins comes out wide to the left. Again, this time Moore will be stopped for about a 2-yard gain. So we're in a familiar big third down play, Mike.
Well, both teams face third down quite a bit tonight, and needing big plays, not just like 3rd and 1, or we've had several 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, and seen some good football out of those downs too. So.
Hall now looking to set his football team on the big third down play. Hall looking to throw, throws it out into the flat, and it'll be short, as Goins this time will get it to about the 36-yard line. But you may be close enough now that Coach Blade may want to go ahead and, well, they're going to measure.
Doesn't appear that close. But
so Oak Ridge got a break there because Coach Blade doesn't have to take a timeout. He can stand here and talk to his quarterback and get him a play in.
That's right.
And that doesn't really appear to be that close unless the down marker is not right. Yeah, that's a whole half a yard. So Coach Blade got a break there.
Sure did. Well, gave Anderson County a little breather too. So
he's got his football team now with a little extra time here to make sure that everybody's on the same page for this big play. They were stopped once earlier on a 4th down and about 1. Big play. 4:42 left in the ball game. Will they try to draw Anderson County off? They did. They didn't bite it, and then about the time that they relaxed, Hall gets it. About the same thing as the freeze, only thing Hall, as soon as he saw him jump back, then he took it.
Right.
Big play, Oak Ridge.
Big play by the senior there, doing what he needed to do to get the first.
You could see Coach Blade, though, and he's still talking to the official about, hey, the guy jumped.
Yeah, he thought he should get a call on that.
So Grace up over Greenback 13-6. Greenback with the ball. Big first down for Oak Ridge. Shows a lot of confidence that Coach Blade has in his offense. Hall with some running room. And Hall gets it down inside the 10-yard line to about the 7-yard line. So Ryan Hall on a big play that time. And this one may be due to some fatigue.
Could be.
Good block out there by Goins. So 1st and goal for Oak Ridge. Ball at the 7.
Blake Goins kept his man out of the play and allowed Hall to pick up several more yards.
You know, here, if you're Coach Blade, you're content to just try to run as many plays as you can here to run about another minute off the clock.
Right.
This first down started with 4:03. And Coach Blade is going to call timeout again.
About let too much runoff. Got down to 1 second left on the play clock.
Lots of scenarios here in the booth about what you would do. 3:45 left. Anderson County has got to score again. The kicking game isn't one of their strengths.
They may be thinking, Hall's going to bust one open again.
So let's see what happens here. Hall waiting for the snap. Up the middle, Hall will score. So looked easy, we'll never know. But there's 3:40 still left in the game, and this big point after, if it's made, then Anderson County still one score behind. You just have to add the 2-point conversion. So looked easy.
Yeah, it's not over yet. We've seen Anderson County score in just a matter of seconds.
But what you can't do is you can't have a bad play on special teams, and look here.
Yeah. There it is.
27-20, we'll be right back. 27-20, our score, 3:40 left. One thing you can't do now, Mike, if you're Anderson County, is you can't fumble this kickoff and get bad field position.
No, they need to capitalize on that mistake in the kicking game with Oak Ridge and take advantage of it for sure.
You know, the worst thing you want to happen here on this Tennessee I Care kickoff is to be less than the 20-yard line.
Right.
Wheeler's kick is a high kick and going to go in the end zone. So at least that gets you to the 20. So that's and no time off the clock. So Anderson County now with 3:40 left. So almost every series now we know is 4-down series. It has been anyway.
All night. Yep, all night. Anderson County, if they want to stay in this, they're going to have to refrain from the penalties and hang on to the ball.
So the Mavericks on the Hammers' first down. Again, stay tuned immediately following the game for the Friday night scoreboard show, as they'll have all your scores and had some good games around the area. Hodge looking, and it's incomplete. McIntosh. You got to wonder now how healthy McIntosh really is.
Yeah, he went out a couple times in the game, I believe, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, I was wondering if Turner might have tipped that. It sure looked like he made a great play on that.
Turner might have got in front of him there. It looked like he was in front of him. Second down and 10. Hodge looking across the middle. This time McIntosh goes down and makes a nice catch. Ball will be out at the 35-yard line. It'll be a Hammers first down. Well, McIntosh has been a really good receiver for this football team over the years.
Sure has.
And now you gotta wonder if you're Oak Ridge. Now you gotta really watch Long, because at some point he's going to get it. This time he does get it, and a good job. He'll pick up about 3 yards, and looks like Clark is one of the first ones there to meet him. What a game he's played. Clark, Dowdy, Norman,
Grumsky. Can't forget Grumsky.
And it looks like an injured player. So a little woozy there. The big lineman. And what a game he's played. That's Matt Pike, and what a Pyle. And what a big game he's played tonight.
He's created some holes tonight, that's for sure. We've called him out a few times, and he's getting some looks from some Division I schools. Just a big kid, and that's one thing you can't teach is size.
Second down, 6 for the Mavericks. Clock running. Throws out here to Strickland, and Strickland will have another first down. And one of the things that the Mavericks are going to really have to do now is get a play in quick, because they tend to take a long time to get a play in.
Yeah, Jemiah Hall in on the stop there.
Clock starting. Hodge looking for the play. The snap, Hodge back. Hodge looking to the sideline again to McIntosh. And McIntosh again will get a first down. That'll stop the clock. Well, it should stop the clock. That's 3 seconds. So 4 seconds off the clock that time before they stop it. So it's a first down for Anderson County. And they'll play it. Hodge looking the other way, looking out into the flat, and it's incomplete. Good play that time.
The Turner again.
Excellent play. Gets his hand right up through the arms.
That's twice he's saved Oak Ridge on pass attempts.
Second down, 10. Ball at the Oak Ridge 39-yard line. Boy, you just wonder when Long going to pop one up the middle.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Low snap. Hodge gets it. And again, it's intercepted. No, it's incomplete.
Hunter again.
Hunter that time with a really good shot at it. What a job he's playing. Oh, he might have bumped him a little early that time. I don't know. Third down and 10. Oak Ridge players wanting the fans to get into it. Fans respond.
They've came through on 3rd and 10 before. We'll see what happens.
Got to look for McIntosh. Oh, and McIntosh is bumped into. Now they got a man Long. And Long is down the sidelines. And Long will score. Wow. McIntosh that time, the intended receiver. And they had him covered. Long, what a good back should do, continued on down the field. And there's Hodge with him wanting to throw to McIntosh. Now he's running and he finds Long. And Long just
wonder
does.
If they're going to go for 2.
He does the rest.
No, here he comes. As we've seen tonight, it's not automatic. So.
Oh, there's a lot left, and you've left a 157 on the clock. Now Coach Gillum wants a timeout. And so basically, if you're going to kick the extra point, basically what you're saying is you want to go to overtime,
right?
Rather than
defense will stop them,
rather than trying to just lay it out here.
But Anderson County wouldn't have anything to lose if they went for 2. I'm just throwing that out there. That might be the timeout.
The other thing, though, if you're Coach Gillum, again, and most teams wouldn't have this advantage, if Oak Ridge got the ball, say, at their 20-yard line, they've got a kid that can kick a 55-yard field goal, we know.
Yeah.
So that shortens the field dramatically, doesn't it?
It does, really does. But we still, like you said, we have 157 left. A lot of things can happen between now and then. And things can turn around. It sure has. We've seen one heck of a ball game, both sides of the ball, and it's not.
Snap is good. The kick is good. So we're all knotted at 27 apiece. We'll be right back. Tennessee I Care kickoff, and Mike Kelly, what a game to join us.
I'm enjoying myself. Thank y'all for asking me.
This has been a heck of a football game. Join David Queener, Marty Maston in the Roan Metals Group studios following this ball game for the Friday night scoreboard show, and a lot of big ball games. Grace wins in a big match with Greenback. This game tied with 1:57 left. Tennessee I Care kickoff. What a big kickoff it is. And let's see what happens here. And it's going to go to the short man, who will have it at 43-yard line. But good hands, Alan Ford. And David, basically what you've done now is about 3 first downs, and Oak Ridge is in field goal range.
They sure are. They sure are. Beeler, he's came through several times in the past, in his past 4 years for Oak Ridge, and could have another chance tonight.
Of course, you're asking the kid now to kick a field goal that's missed 2 extra points. So we've seen this at the Hill.
Right.
So a lot of football left before we get to that, though, guys. As the referee comes over to talk to the Oak Ridge staff, must be something to do with the clock. So we're going to have to see. No time went off the clock. Guys, we've had some clock situations here tonight.
Minor, but still situations we shouldn't have.
But the officials working on the clock. And whatever it is, we're going to go. It's 2 seconds, 1:55 now, so we're square. And it's a Hammers first down for Oak Ridge. Hall looking across the middle, and it's incomplete. Looked like his receiver was not on the same page with him, and it's really good that one wasn't intercepted.
That's true. We need Oak Ridge needs to hang on to the ball to give themselves a chance, or at least keep it out of Anderson County's hands right now.
Irwin that time really had a better shot than anyone.
Sure did.
Goins that time didn't look like he was expecting the ball. 2nd down and 10 for Oak Ridge. Hall again looking to throw again across the middle, and is this one incomplete? Looks like it hit the ground. So incomplete. And
I don't want to give it back to Anderson County.
146 on the clock, so not much time being run off. Third down and 10. Anderson County with no timeouts. Oak Ridge with 1. Okay.
Big play for the Cats.
Back to throw, Hall, and it's incomplete.
Norman had a shot at it.
So a big 4th down play now. Now if you're Anderson County and you try to come for it, you chance roughing the kicker.
Right. I believe
you just sort of sit back here and make sure that you don't block in the back or have a penalty.
Right. I'd take my chance with McIntosh and Long once we're on offense. So
1:42 left. Kick is an end-over-end kick, and it's going to be. That's going to be one he wishes tomorrow that he would have run. McIntosh is looking to see where was everyone.
He would. I think we could have at least a 10-yard return.
Yeah, because I mean,
had a zone too.
There's about 3 counts, 3 counts there that he waited. But now there's 1:36 left for the Mavs. The ball at the 25-yard line on the Hammers 1st and 10.
Neither side can afford a penalty right now, that's for sure.
What a game we've had here tonight at Blankenship. Hodge back to throw. Looking across the middle is McIntosh. McIntosh is out to the 40-yard line. And it's a 1st and 10. And Hall a little slow to get up. He's limping, but none of the coaches will notice.
No.
1st and 10, and here goes the clock. Hodge again, back to throw. Being pressured, and he'll run. McIntosh across midfield, and another 1st down. How long will it take to stop the clock?
Zach Clark in on the stop for Oak Ridge.
Down at the 47-yard line. Hodge again, back to throw, looking, has Long, and Long is going to be hit. Anderson County has no timeouts. They're going to have to get to the line and spike it.
Chris Ramsey on the stop for the Cats.
As we come under a minute, 2nd down and 10. Well, they go ahead and get it off. And it's going to be incomplete to Long. Good pressure that time by your man.
That was Tyler Dowdy.
Dowdy.
Yeah, he definitely put some pressure on him.
Tell you what, big play tonight by Dowdy and Grumsky on the defensive line.
Zach Clark, several of them, both sides of the ball, the line on both sides You know they're both sides are going to sleep well tonight.
Anderson County out of timeouts. Clock is stopped with 46 ticks. Third down. Hodge back to throw, looking, and boom, Norman all over him. And again, McIntosh. No, that's not McIntosh. That's Bird. And so now Anderson County will just let the clock. They did. That's as far as they're going to get. And Oak Ridge may call timeout. No, they're just going to let the clock run. And they can let the clock run out on the play clock. Maybe about a half a second. Maybe about a half a second, and then they may throw it. You're right. But no, they'll give it to Long. So just like the last time, Long's got down the sideline, and he's going to be out of bounds. Hall comes to save him as time runs out.
Wow.
So we're going to overtime. We'll be right back. That extended timeout.
You'd think they'd have something ready, but maybe they wanted to see what Oak Ridge was going to line up in and make adjustments.
But these are kids.
Yep.
Oak Ridge with a 50-50 chance of winning this tonight, as they have the past ones. They're 6-6 all
sure
time
are.
in overtime games. Hodge. Looking for the play. And they give it to Long, and Long is going to drag a couple. He'll get it down to about the 10-yard line, so he gets the 5 back. But instead of 2nd and 5 to score, now you've got to go out. Actually, it'll be at about the 11-yard line.
They got the timeout. They didn't get the penalty.
That's right, they did get the penalty, so I'm all confused here. Thank you. So 4-yard gain, it's at the 6.
They had him stopped at the line. He just made a great effort.
Second down and goal from the 6. Where's McIntosh? This time they throw inside and it's incomplete.
Oh, intercepted.
And picked off. Can't return it. But now all Oak Ridge has to do is kick a field goal, anything they want to do.
Ryan Hall picking the pass off.
So Hall is going to go. And it was tipped. Let's look at it again, can we? Wow, so it went off the receiver's hand. Hall, that's why you practice that tip play.
Yep. Oak Ridge they have to maintain possession and get an attempt to score here. No, they can't have the same thing happen to them.
Now, how long will Coach Blade go without trying to avoid a penalty or a fumble before you just kick the field goals?
Usually you would try to do it on the 3rd down, so if you have a bad snap, you still have a 4th down to attempt your field goal.
So here come the Wildcats. In overtime.
I'm guessing 2 running plays and then attempt
in the middle of the field.
Right.
So Moore, the running back. Hall gives it to him up the middle, and Moore churning too. Moore gets it down to about the 6-yard line. So Moore with a really good hard run on the first play, and another Maverick down. Looks like he's holding an arm. Looks like Alex Smith holding an arm there for the Mavs. So 2nd down and 6 for the win. Coach Blade wants timeout. Again, stay tuned immediately following this game. Roan Metals Group studio for the Friday night scoreboard show. Joined again tonight by Mike Kelly. And again, Mike, thanks for being with us tonight. What a great game we've had here. And looks like all Oak Ridge has to do right now is just take care of the football.
That's true. I appreciate you and Brad asking me. I'll throw it out there. But, yeah, the Oak Ridge definitely cannot afford a turnover right here.
And look who the blocking back is. Clark. And he leads him in. Touchdown, Oak Ridge. And Oak Ridge will win the football game here tonight in overtime, 33-27. Mike, what a great game.
In the backfield there, blocking for him.
What a great game it was here tonight. It's only a shame that one of these teams had to lose.
That's true, and you know, you talk about moral victories, and you don't want to hear that if you're on the losing end of it, but it has to be somewhat of a moral victory for Anderson County. They showed that they have a good, solid football team, and they're going to win some more games this year. That's a fact.
You know, if you look at what would typically be a strength at Oak Ridge on the special teams, let them down a little bit tonight.
Sure did, and you know, it could be anything from a snap to the bat hold, or it could just been a bad kick.
And as a former kicker, you know how many different things can go wrong, right?
So many things, yes, sir. But normally that is a strength of Oak Ridge and has been for years. But tonight, you know, they had to rely on the defense and offense to make things happen, but that's okay.
We saw a lot of different things here tonight. We saw what we knew coming in was Andy Long was a prolific runner. He continued that tonight with well over 200 yards rushing here tonight, and probably close to over 300 yards, all-purpose yards. But also coming in, we knew that Moore, and you indicated it a couple times how fast he was. A big kickoff return and a big scamper up the middle for him as well. So a lot of things offsetting each other. It came down to just the trenches, and the trenches were a wash. Both teams played extremely well.
Right. Neither side has anything to feel bad about. They work their tails off, and it shows. You know, the score as close as it is, and you know, like I said, Anderson County, they've got some good players and good skill players especially, and they're going to be okay.
Well, again, thanks for being with us tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you very much. Guys, we're going to turn it back to the Roan Meadows Group studio where our Friday night school board gang is standing by. So, guys, take it away back to studio.
At OEB, we know lives have changed. Parents have become teachers, and our homes are now our offices. The roads may seem empty, but people are still driving and still working. And when they get injured because someone else was careless, they know they can still depend on us. We are OEB Law, and the one thing that hasn't changed is our commitment to helping people right here at home. We're just a phone call away. 865-546-1111. OEB Law.
WYSH-AM 101.1 FM, W266 AM, 99.5 FM, W25D6 Clinton, WQLA-AM 95.9 FM, W240DT La Follette.
It's cleared one hurdle. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News.